Hello everyone and welcome to our Hebrew lesson number 13. Today we are going to continue what we did in our last lesson. We spoke about verb, how it works in Hebrew. I told you that we have to do it because in this point we need to recognize how the word changed between male, female, and single and plural in present. In past and future it will be a little bit difficult. Not so difficult, but it's not just four way like we saw in present. It's more than four, it's seven and 7 or 8 depends. So today I'm going to do it and also show you two ways and actually how it works, and then after this in the next lesson we actually can continue in our stories and learn spoken Hebrew as we did. So let's start the lesson and see what we have, the sentence that we have today. Here it starts. Today it's not letters what we saw at our last lesson, writing letter. This is a usual letter, so probably you know it and it's easy for you. The first sentence is, this is not story, just separate sentence as we did in our last lesson. First one is Mi makir et Yosef. We know this word makir. The meaning is makir is know, and I think that I spoke about it and explained the difference between makir to yodea. In Hebrew it's not the same like in English, that I know someone and also I know many things. In Hebrew it's different. I said I know, for example, I know that my father will come today. This is in Hebrew ani yodea. And makir, it's close to familiar, like I know this neighbor. I know him because I spoke with him yesterday. So this is makir and not yodea. And we also, as I said, we spoke about it. So mi makir et Yosef. This is question with a male, makir. And in the same way, someone said, Ani makira et Yosef. So this is female, said makira. And here we see the difference between this sentence in this lesson and what we saw in our last lesson. Because in our last lesson we saw that most of the time it is changed between male and female just with one letter, and it was tav. We said for example, אני נמצא, את נמצאת. We add tav. And basically it's based on the nikud. Most of the time we saw in our last lesson that was the nikud was segol, that always works with the same way, and that's why at the end is tav. But here we see that at the end of this word we adding hey. And how we will know it? Usually there is something that is connect between all the words. Most of the words sound the same, that's why it works the same. For example, in our last lesson it was tough because most of the word sounds in the same way. And here it's different and it's finished with hey and after tough. It sounds difficult, but it's not so difficult, because when you don't need to do it, in the action, to think of each word and say, oh, this is connected to this group or this group. That's why I'm not saying rules for this, because I think that for learn language, it's not for each word thinking before what is belong to. We see and we hear, and then in your mind, you don't need to think about it, it just came along. Immediately you say, because then you see some connection between those words. You say, oh, this is, you don't think, it's immediately happened that you think that you say this word in this way or this way. And here I'm showing you another group, and most of them act in the same way. So they say, מי מכיר את יוסף, and אני מכירה את יוסף. And also, I just skip these two sentences to show you, also there is אני מביא and אני מביאה. So here we can see some connection. מכיר, מביא. So there is a חיליק. מביא, מכיר. And that's why at the end it adding hey. So it sounds difficult, but there is group, it's a natural group, because most of them sound the same. מכיר, מביא. Both of them have חיריק. That's why they act in the same way, and both of them adding hey at the end instead of taf, that's what we saw in our last lesson. So let's back to this sentence and say מי מכיר את יוסף for male, and אני מכירה את יוסף for female. And for single and plural male female, it works always the same. Always group of male we add in yud and mem, and it become im. אנחנו מכירים את יוסף, we familiar with יוסף, we know יוסף, אנחנו מכירים, מכירים, and for female is always ot, אנחנו מכירות את יוסף. This is always, there is no exception. Always group of male we add in at the end im, of course just for a verb, also another thing, and for group of female we add in vav and taf in חולם ot, אנחנו מכירות את יוסף. And let's see the next one. אני מביא, it's bring, אני מביא לחם, bread, מהחנות. I'm bringing bread from the store, חנות is just store, and אני מביא לחם, it's from, מהחנות, see, מביא, מכיר. Same have חיריק, מכיר, מביא. And she said, אני מביאה, I'm bringing, מביאה for female, חלב is milk, מהמכולת, from the convenience store or just a mini market or whatever. Makolet is a place that, mini market, that they sell bread, milk, and something like this. And group of male said, the same way, אנחנו מביאים שולחנות is tables, שולחן, it's one, שולחנות is two. We said that shulchan is, we said that it belongs to female, even if it's not male or female. In Hebrew, that's how it works. We have some stuff, and we say this is male and this is female. There is no rule for this, but then when you know the words, then you can put them in each group. So here, I'm not focused on it, I'm just mentioning it. Here is shulchanot, מהמחסן, from the storage. So the point is here, if there is a group of men said, אנחנו מביאים. And here, group of female, הן מביאות. לנו, they bring for us, לנו, גלידה. glida, it's ice cream. So here we saw מכיר, מכירה, מכירים, מכירות, מביא, מביאה, מביאים, מביאות. And let's see here. דוד שלי, my uncle, בא, is coming, בא. And what happened in the female? דודה שלי, באה. This is mean she is coming. We add in hey. And male and female, הם, they, באים היום, they coming today. באים, always the same for group of male. It sounds חיריק, באים. And for female, as we said, is חולם, אות, הן באות. מחר is tomorrow. הן באות מחר. And also, another thing that acts the same, הוא גר בירושלים, he is who, גר living in Jerusalem, בירושלים, and he, she, גרה, we add in hey, גרה בתל אביב, in תל אביב. Group of male, הם גרים בארצות הברית. They live in United States. That's how we said in Hebrew. We said United States, ארצות הברית. So they live in בארצות הברית. And הן, for group of female, הן גרות באפריקה. So see, group of male, group of female, always the same. It's gar is garim for group of male, and group of female garot. Ba'im, ba'ot. But the base word is ba for male, ba. And for female, we add in the hey, ba'a. And here, the aleph is silent, that's why we don't hear the aleph, ba. But here, there is hey at the end, that's why we hear ba'a, and also we have kamatz to show us it. And there is another sentence, אני צריך. Remember the word צריך is need. אני צריך כיסא, כיסא is chair. Someone said I need chair. צריך. And for female we add in the hey, צריכה. מפה. She needs a map. She said I, there's ani, but probably the person who said it is a woman. And here, אנחנו צריכים מכונית. We need a car. And here is the same, צריכים מכונית, car. And אנחנו צריכות, we need כסף, money. And here, this is just for the word חולה. חולה, remember, is sick. This is not the same way, the same verb like here. This is describing. For example, I said אני חולה, I am sick. And here also there is a change between male and female. For male we said אני חולה, and for female אני חולה. אנחנו, we חולים. And אנחנו חולות for group of female. And the last one, we said הוא for male. הוא צמא, thirsty. הוא צמא. And for female, he, she, צמאה. And for, this is mean she is thirsty. And for group of male, הם צמאים. And הן צמאות. So this was all about the verb. I hope it's not too much, but I had to do it just to show you how it works. And when you see one verb and also word like חולה, חולה, and חולים, חולות, then you see that it's not a new one. It's just we have a base word and we change it like go, going, gone that we know in English, and this is just for time, if it's past or present. Here it's not just for time, it's also for person to know what is belong to, if it's for male or female. That's how it works in Hebrew. We need to know it, just not wasting time when we see a new word, and it will help us. But of course, you don't need to remember everything about life. You see many stories, you see many explanations. At the end, you will know how to use it. But of course, it's important to know it, just to mention it. Don't need to remember, there is time. Anything you need is only just patient. Patient and patient and patient. And at the end, you will know, of course, you need to practice. So see you next time. Bye bye.